Hey everybody, it has been a few weeks, but here we are again on Saturday morning, June 18th, 2016, on what is turning out to be an absolutely gorgeous morning here on Cape Cod, on the southeastern seaboard of Massachusetts. God is good. And welcome to those of you who happen to be looking over my shoulder. I've often said that this is my diary, this is my journal. And it continues to be that. If you happen to glean something from it through the eyes and minds of someone who trades pretty intensively over the course of the week and tries to shut down on the weekend, but still kind of keep it in mind, I appreciate your indulgence. And so, I always go into this basically thinking about, talking about anything that's on my mind in terms of my life, things that have remained constant over all the many years, things that have evolved as I've continued to mature. And right now there's certainly a bit of a fire. I think life ebbs and flows in terms of your passion, kind of like a marriage. The initial excitement, the passion, and then the mundaneness at times, the challenges at times, and then falling back in love. And that's how my life and career have evolved over the course of the years with trading. Most of you know that of the early days, they're well documented in the book, and many of you are aware of the challenges that came along with those times. This business bringing me to my knees, literally. The challenges of the flash crash, the challenges of MF Global. So much has been said and written about all of that, the burnout stages. But here we are, 2016, and again, like a marriage that ebbs and flows, but staying constant with a single companion, at least in this case, been fortunate to be able to do that. I know that's not always the case. It's the same thing with the market. I always continue to be brought back by something that excites me, that challenges me, that has me learning something new about the market and about myself every single day. And so that's kind of where I'm at in this business. And so what I wanted to do today a bit, given all the negativity out there, given all of the challenges in this world and that come with this business, is give you a little bit of a pep talk. And let's start off by admitting that the trading is difficult. I will refer you to the disclaimer on the site if you need to remind yourself about how difficult this is. FT71, before he begins any of his videos, appropriately so, states the disclaimer because he is a broker, and that is required. But even without that requirement, suffice it to say that this is a difficult business and it is not for everybody. Those of you that have been through the training programs at this end know that one of the prerequisites is the fact that you folks have made an independent decision to do this. Once that independent decision has been made, then there are some of us that try to assist, try to help, and provide tools, education, and all that kind of stuff. But this is tough, and if I've accomplished nothing else through the Chronicles book and through all of these entries and blogs, other than to make it keenly apparent that it is tough. I'm not just saying that it's tough, but actually talking through the toughness, the difficulties. Day by day, hour by hour, year by year. And again, we talked about a few of those. I don't want to belabor those and bring everybody down into what's supposed to be a pep talk. But that is a fact. This business is difficult. However, what we've got to do, whether it's trading, life, business, or whatever, we cannot let those that do not understand, that those who maybe are looking for the easy way out, that those who are not up for the challenge, we cannot let them bring us down. We cannot do that. We must surround ourselves with people that are supportive, that are uplifting. We need to arm ourselves with the coat of armor, if you will, the body of armor every day in terms of the mindset, the mentality. Those of us, whether we are using discretionary trading rules or whether we're using some sort of a gray box rule that requires still some decision making, or whatever you're doing, again, even outside of trading, it is so very important. And I've seen this really in spades as my public exposure has continued to grow. We were not active that much in Twitter in the early years intentionally to kind of keep that noise level down. That's another reason, by the way, we don't do comments on the blog. It's meant as a diary. It's not meant as an interaction. But here we are again, 3,400 some Twitter followers now, and which is again a fascinating anomaly in a way. Kind of reminds me of the early days of the blog when just through word of mouth this thing grew. But folks, I'm a trader. I'm a human being, and there's nothing magic here. I have learned a few things over the course of my career in this business that I know with conviction is so very true that I don't see discussed a whole lot, and I will continue to beat that drum. I can tell that we've made some progress, that it's gotten through to a few people in terms of building the outliers and adding to positions and waiting for confirmation, even if it's just a little bit of confirmation. Things like that are so very important, regardless on how you trade, regardless of the tools that you use. So, want to continue to do that, but want to get back to this idea of I don't just want to call it positive thinking necessarily, but overcoming the challenges. I know I talk about my faith in my book. I try to talk about my faith from time to time in the blog, and again, that's not to push that on anybody, because that can never be done. But why I share that is that it's so very important. It's such an integral part of me. It has helped me get through all of the very difficult times in my career. It's helped me hopefully maintain some sort of a degree of humility during the good times, which I probably crossed that line at times, admittedly. And it's helped me, get over the woulda, shoulda, coulda business, because, every day we're presented with another opportunity, and it's all about, trying to do the best we can, and along the way, certainly, looking to those outside of ourselves. Many of you know that recently I've really tried hard to end blog posts or tweets with love, uplift, and inspire, because the older I've gotten and the more that I see in this world and see in this business, the more I realize that that's not the case in many instances. And I want to do better at that. I want to really be that positive influence. I want to be that I don't want to say model, because that's not a good term, but I want to be encouraging to all of you who have made decisions to get into this business, who may be struggling with friends or relatives or people on the nonsensical internet, that may either intentionally want to bring you down, or that just may not understand what you were trying to do. Talk a little bit today about risk. All right. Had some interesting interaction recently, and in the last post that I had, I talked a lot about probabilities, statistics being, very, very much overrated. Now, and I've gotten some pushback on that, and I can understand that. But what you also have to understand is when you are trading and you are in the moment, you are not focused on probabilities. You are like that batter at that plate, that over time, through the course of execution, will develop a statistical average, will develop some probabilities. But when you are in that moment, you need to be in that moment. And you need to be swinging at the bat. You can't be in the batter's box, basically with 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming at you, and all of a sudden, thinking, well, I'm good 30% of the time. I bat 300, so all I have to do is come up here and swing the bat. No, that is a byproduct. That is a result. That is the score as the result of your focused execution, where you could care less about any of that stuff. And that's when you go back to, I think we talked about this last time a little bit, when you go back to the days of the floor traders. I don't care where you trade, floor, planet, it doesn't matter. The idea is that you are there, you are in the moment, you are seeing what's happening, you are assimilating all of the information, certainly, which may have a statistical bent to it, but you are there in the moment, and you are there to execute, and that's what I want people to focus on. Statistics, they're going to be the end byproduct, and over time you can rely on them. I know that 100% of the time when I get out of bed, I survive the day. Up to this point in my life, 100%. Okay, that doesn't mean that I can go through the day relying on that 100% and do some stupid things, or get lax. That is the result of my getting up, again, through the grace of God, of course, and working through the course of a day. And it's the same thing in trading. So that's how I feel and how I'm convicted in that. Because I know in my own trading, when I've fallen back at times in my earlier days to probabilities, I've lost that in the moment focus, which is so very important. So, what can we do to maintain that focus? Many of you know I rarely tweet over the course of trading day, right? And I don't even do the blog. In 08, 09, I was doing the blog on an hourly basis. So what I would do is make my own diary. I do notes in there, and then I publish at the end of the day. I don't even do that because I find that's distracting for me. I'm not involved in chat rooms over the course of the day because my focus has to be on what is happening today, and the confidence and conviction that I know over the course of time that execution will result in some statistical result, which is basically a growth in your bank account. But the focus has to be on execution, and so I admittedly have intentional filters, and some things are turned off over the course of the day because I am bombarded with interruptions, as everybody might be with life, and that element of focus is so very important. So, I've tried to do things to help me thrive in this business. I've also, as many of you know, set some very lofty goals in this business, and that's really what keeps driving me. I'm still short of one particular goal in my trading industry, in my trading career, and that's 300 contracts on a given trade sequence. I'm not quite there. I want to get there. I need to get there, and I'm working very diligently toward that. I'm also setting, and I'm not going to, well, I guess I will share some of these things. I've got some very aggressive targets, some of which I have shared, but I've got some very aggressive targets that I'm always trying to reach for. I'm always trying to shoot for. One is a $100,000 a day, which I have still not yet had. And this is not, again, about being rich or being greedy or anything like that. It is about pushing oneself based on one's capabilities, based on one's experience, to know when to push that accelerator and push it for all it's worth. Okay. This week I actually came close. I had an opportunity to do that, but I was committed to another effort right around FOMC. And even the day after that I was able to trade and do okay, but was not able to really push that accelerator as much as I really thought, looking back, I could have. So I'm in that process of getting close to where I need to be, and so those are two goals that I keep after. We've done the $1 million year, we maintained longer term goals, all that kind of stuff. But I am in the business of trying to push myself as far as I can, strategically, smartly. And knowing when it's right to get there, okay? And I'll share with you when I get there. I'm not there yet. I've said I've wanted to do this for a while. I'm still not there yet. That part is still a journey for me. But I have that goal. I have that intention in mind. I certainly have the capability and the capital to be able to do that. Maybe when we do that, we'll have some kind of a celebration. We'll have maybe like the Boston Bamboo picnic that we had here on me or something. Or maybe we'll do some giveaways. I don't know, but I'm having some fun with this business. And that doesn't mean I have my bad days. That doesn't mean I'm challenged. This week I sub-optimized the hell, frankly, out of the week, largely because of my inattention due to other conflicts that I have, because I do more than just trade, and I'm sure all of you face that too. But folks, this is so doable. It's hard. It's tough. Most people can't. Again, go to the disclaimer on the site. FT71 has a disclaimer every time he does his video at the beginning. He has to. He's a broker. I don't have to necessarily, but I want to. I want to tell people how difficult this is. The minute you open up that book, right, on the book jacket, publisher said you need a catchy picture, so we did the guy with his hands raised. But the moment you open the book, it basically says, "Don't quit your job." Don't think this is easy. This is a story not of success, but of challenge, and so that's a given. So if you are interested in this trading business, and apparently you are, if you're looking over my shoulder, we've got over 500 views a week on the videos, 3,400 followers on Twitter. So what do we do? How do we work together? How do we collectively keep ourselves at that higher bar and raise the bar for others? Love, uplift, inspire for everybody. And you can do it one person at a time, one shellfish at a time. And I guess that's my humble attempt at this end. But I want you folks, leaving today's video and leaving this weekend and going into next trading week, with just an on fire attitude. An on-fire attitude, overcoming the negativity that's out there, overcoming the people that don't understand what you do or don't know how you do what you do, don't have the education, don't have the experience, haven't gone through the price that you may have paid to get to this point. We have all paid a price to get to today, every one of us. Mine is very well chronicled, right? And yours is very well chronicled in your own mind. But we have all gotten to this point in life and have paid a price, okay? Where do we go from here? How do we invest that price? That price may be in capital losses. That price may be in diminished mental capacity, burnout, frustration, and for some people that price may be the clue, maybe that hint, maybe that tell to have you move on to something else, because this is not for everybody again. But you have gained a wealth of knowledge, so the issue becomes, where do you go from here with that, whether it's in trading or not, outside of trading. And that's what I want to always focus on. I always want to focus on that next trade. I have a very hard time talking about after the fact stuff, and that's why I don't really go over my trading days a whole lot. We did the 8-year graph every single trading day for, 8 years in the book. That's all well and good, but I know I had a difficulty in putting that together because I had to push that aside and always focus on that next at bat. They say you're only as good as your next day pitcher or your next at bat, and that's what this is about. So how do we get in that focused, positive frame of mind, armed with a support group that is behind us, armed with technology that allows us to filter and hone and focus? How do we leverage off of that experience that we have, and certainly how can we share that and pay it forward in a way that does not dilute someone else's ability, but only enhances someone else's ability? I've often said, if you folks throw darts standing on your head backwards and you do well, there was an article recently about, was it a cat, stock picking cat that was beating the S&P, go for it. The issue is always push it when it's there, back off when it's not. I don't care if it's that one trade sequence. I don't care if it's that trading day where you're in the zone. I don't care if it's that week, that month, that year. You push it, you push it, you push it, whether it's through your engagement and your involvement or through size or whatever, and then you back off. But you've got to know when to push that accelerator, because that's the piece that's missing in this business. There's too much timidness. There is too much timidness. Okay. There's so we've gone backwards in my view. This business has become so risk averse because of all the disclaimers, because of all the fear, because of all the, okay, I'm in this business, but I got to tell you, it's got to, and that does it's necessary. I get that, but it also does a disservice because that doesn't encourage people to be aggressive and be aggressive when they need to. And you think about the Trading Places movie, where the guys are screaming on the floor and all that. That's what this is about, putting yourself in that position so you can floor it, so you can be excited, right? And feel the excitement through the screen, feel that excitement through your support groups. That's where we need to be. That's where I need to be, okay? Even though I seem to trade best in a cave, I need that support structure and that support network, all right? I will continue to share glimpses as I can, as I'm able to over the course of the week. I hope folks are able to pick up a little bit on some of the Friday activity. Just a couple of tweets, but pretty decent opportunity. I mean, it's only, from 60 towards 65, but still, in a day that didn't have that great a range, one of the better opportunities. And I'll continue to share things like that from time to time. But folks, please leave this video feeling good about what you're doing, feeling good about the price that you have paid to get to where you are in your trading career, and try to determine where you want to go with this. I've got some very bold goals, some of which I have not shared, some of which I have. The $100,000 day, the 300 contracts. That's my immediate focus now when I go into a trading day, and I will get there by the end of the year. I've got 6 months to do that. And it's a matter of having all things come together, the filtering, the focus, everything, the opportunity, and just going for it. And I've got some other goals as well that are driving me. So anyway, I do that not to say, look at what Don is doing. I do that to try to push you to develop your own goals, develop your own outlier opportunities, develop a mindset that is so far beyond most people that are trying in this industry, or most people that are even moderately successful in this industry. Don't strive to be moderately average. Don't strive to be moderately above average. Strive to be at that top. Because if you strive to be at that top, you're gonna get a whole lot closer than if you didn't. Okay. Just a quick note. I am down 174 pounds. I am down to my high school weight, flexible, nimble. I have lost close to 40 pounds, 35 pounds, I think, by the math. Is that right? And I just got to do this real quick. I'm going to stand up, right? Look at this. Look at this, huh? Huh? All right? I feel good. Okay? Now, some of you may say, well, there goes Don again. All right? Good for you. Okay? I do this to encourage you folks. I went from 205, was it, to 175, so 30 pounds. Okay, 30 pounds. All right? Took work. Took a positive support structure. Took having good tools in place. Okay? Right? You did it. Shows me I can do other things. Right? Think about doing the same thing in your life. Nutrisystem. Love it. Okay? Love it, love it. It's all about portion control. Real food, portion control. That's all I'll say. God bless you. Have a great positive weekend. Enjoy life. Have a great trading week. And we're going to ramp things up here in a very, very big way. And I hope you do the same in your own trading. Take care. Bye.